Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye and thanks. Hooray. Jolly happy time with you all. Bye-bye.
Sir Ralph at 80 was shown as a tribute to Sir Ralph Richardson, who died yesterday, and it replaced Olivia Newton-John in concert, which we'll be showing at a future date. Now, this is the lineup for Wednesday evening on BBC1. At 5 to 6, live coverage of the Hungary-England Soccer International in Budapest, a crucial match for England in the European Championship. Hearty's guests at 7:55 include Boy George of Culture Club, Vincent Price and Coral Brown. At 8:25, a comedy play by Jeremy Lloyd and David Croft, Allo, Allo, set in occupied France, where a cafe proprietor suddenly finds himself involved in helping escaping RAF officers get back to England. At 9:25, the Bob Hope Royal Gala Evening. In the presence of Her Royal Highness Princess Alexandra, a host of stars including Charles Aznavour, Dickie Henderson, the Nolans and John Williams perform in a charity cabaret. Finally, at 10:45, our feature film is about Cleopatra Jones, a black special agent committed to stamping out drug pushers in the ghetto and doing it in some style with karate schools and a supercharged car. And that's Wednesday on BBC1. Now here's the latest on the weather from Jim Bacon.
Hello. Well, certainly some very cold weather so far this evening in eastern parts of the country. The reason is that this ridge of high pressure has now slipped across to the eastern side of Britain with its much lighter winds and clear skies. Temperatures have fallen quite steadily during this evening. But all that is changing further to the west because that large area of low pressure has moved a bit closer. The fronts have brought their cloud and rain and some indeed quite wet and windy weather to many western parts of the country now. And as the low continues to deepen, quite noticeably so by about 20 millibars or thereabouts, before tomorrow, that low is going to move past the northwestern corner of the country, and these fronts are going to bring rain to many of us tomorrow, and then eventually we'll have to look to the cold front because that will bring a change back to brighter weather but still fairly cold weather with showers and sunshine. These southwesterly winds, incidentally, are very strong indeed, but certainly quite mild, and we can see those on the forecast chart for noon tomorrow, because although the fronts have brought their rain well across the country by then, plenty of isobars pushing them along, the arrow on that isobar over the Midlands shows that it's a southwesterly wind, and it is going to be bringing much milder weather to most of us, just for a short while anyway. For tonight's weather, well, the reason for that wet and windy weather in the west, certainly you've just seen on the charts, and it's raining now in many of those western areas, and before the night is through, I think there'll be rain spreading across to most other central parts of the country as well. Perhaps the Shetland Islands in the far north and parts of the extreme southeast will stay dry through the night, but certainly quite a chilly night, even a touch of frost during the next few hours or so. And then tomorrow, that same story with areas of low pressure around, very unsettled, wet, windy weather continuing for most of us. The eventual change coming as the cold front starts to move south. You'll find the rain turning a bit more showery, some brighter weather, but still some quite heavy rain. The rain perhaps not quite reaching the extreme southeast, although there could be the odd spit or spot in the wind, but very mild weather, and where the cloud breaks, a little bit of brightness as well, and temperatures up to 17 centigrade. That's it. A very good night to you.
With the weather in mind, the new Director General of the Met Office, Professor John Horton, will be Sue McGregor's guest of the week on Woman's Hour tomorrow. That begins on Radio 4 at 2 o'clock. Radio 2, of course, features, as always, a 24-hour service of entertainment, at the moment in the hands of Brian Matthew with his arts magazine around midnight. But as far as we on BBC One are concerned, that's all for now. The time is 2 minutes past midnight. And this is Andy Cartledge on behalf of all of us here, wishing you now a very good night. Good night.